never tell you. I ain't rolling with no fucking tools, but we come and drill you. Two styrofoam cups up, we gon' come and spill you. When the bill due, young dude, we gon' come to bill you. I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. Yeah, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. I got a bad bitch, yeah, she got a stupid box. Stupid die, you ain't getting shit from me, baby, stop. Diamond rings, pearly thing, you must think I'm stupid, huh? We ain't stupid now, well educated. Filet o fish, niggas never seen the fish scale. They always talking shit, nigga, I just wish you well. Niggas want the drugs, give them quarter flip to wish you well. Yeah, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. Silly, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. For really, yeah, I get much and plenty. Most your niggas still in the well, wishing for a penny. Hard away and proud, nigga choose now. When the biscuit up to your head, you better speak loud. Cause all my niggas ruthless, some of them niggas toothless. They ain't got nothing to live for, they shoot shit. And we talking about the beat, pull up to the roof, Chris. I'ma have you served well done on a toothpick. Spin around your block like a motherfucking fire spit. And nigga, we ain't camping, nah man, this shit intense. Heard you talking shit on the block, but what's your intent? Pussy nigga. Yeah. I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. Bitch.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Cypher. Shout out to Pizza for our intro chicken spot. Is that what, how do you pronounce Pizza?
Yeah, just like RZA, Jizza, SZA, it's just Pizza.
Pizza, got it. That's Pizza chicken spot. Our boy Process's alter ego. He dropped another one of them over the weekend, so make sure y'all go look for that. Welcome back to another episode of The Cypher. I'm your host, Andrew Cazer. As always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts, two very dope artists, Sheridan and Anthony. How y'all doing this week? What's new? What y'all been streaming? What's up?
I'm doing very well. I think Andrew just tried to put Sheridan on the spot super early. I had a good week. I'm glad to be back for the show. You know, I actually got to go link up with Sheridan in person, work on some music, go to Pizza, a.k.a. Process's crib, chop it up with the homies. So that was always beautiful. And I'm looking forward to another session. What about you, Sheridan? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. It was really great to link with you, and I'm excited to link again. I've kind of got that day was the first day I'd kind of gotten back into like making music again. I had kind of taken a week or two off, just a little depressed, a little bit trying to like just gather my thoughts and figure stuff out. Doing a little better now though, and I've been kind of making music every day since. So I'm excited about that. What I've been streaming Hellboy by Lil Peep mostly. Because that just got added to streaming services. I've been streaming a little bit of the new Fredo Bang album. I just listened to the MGK album last night. I wasn't really impressed.
I figured you wouldn't be.
It just sounded. I was like, damn, like I would really like this if it was 2008. It's just like pop. It's like pop punk, like. I don't know, like I like pop punk, but it's just very like, oh, I could go listen to Paramore or like
Green Day.
Nah, not even like Green Day. Like I don't know,
I said Green Day before I even registered. You said Paramore, and that provides all the context that I need to know.
Blink 182 and Paramore are the most like direct influences I heard.
Yeah, that's a solid comparison.
I liked the last song. The last song on it I really liked, and it wasn't like necessarily all that original, but I thought the lyrics were personal. I felt it, and I liked the chords that he used for the guitar melody. So I did like the last song, I can't lie. And I also downloaded the Ian Dior song, which I thought was pretty good.
So when you say that you would probably like it if it was 2008, I'm assuming it's just dated in your opinion?
It's just very like, it's like this has been done before, and there was a time where this was popular, and this isn't that time anymore.
Yeah,
like that time is coming.
That's a fair point.
popularity comes and goes, but good music is timeless. You feel me? Like
Yeah, and it's just not timeless music, you know. It's not timeless music.
it's not trendy, but it's also just not as good as people are making it out to be.
It's like sonically it's solid for sure. I heard some originality in like the arrangements.
But it's nothing
Just-
groundbreaking. It's
yeah,
not
there's
like
nothing. I didn't hear anything in it that I was like, wow, like MGK's like hit something like different here. He's done something new. I'm like, no, this is just like
the only
it's almost like how you talk about with Tory, how Tory always sounds like another artist. This was like MGK sounding like another artist in almost every song, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with that point for sure. I think that it's more so because you're definitely right. It's got like an older sound to it, but it's smart in a way because there are people like me who are definitely looking for that sound to sort of reemerge or come back or get like a new version of that, and maybe they don't like the new Blink 182 album or don't like exactly where that sound is going. So in terms of that, I really do like it, but I agree it's not like groundbreaking. It's nothing super like genre bending or changing the game.
I totally understand though why it's doing numbers. Like I can name like 10 of my friends that are gonna totally like love that and play that all the time.
That's what I've been streaming this week. Honestly, I bumped it a
Yeah.
lot over the last week. That and the Tusi album have been what I've been bumping the most, and I really do like.
I've been bumping that a lot too.
I like the MGK project just because, like I said, it's a sound that I've been looking for to hear again. That I don't always like going back to listen to the old tracks from 2008. I like something a little bit new and a little bit different. You know what I mean? Because it does have a little bit of a hip hop element to it.
The arrangements were different, is what I noticed. The arrangements were definitely different, and he hit a lot of different dynamic stuff, and that is something that I could put like I guess as a pro of the album. It wasn't like totally like unoriginal. Like there were hints of originality there for sure.
What I've been going back to most this week is the new Mozzie album, Occupational Hazard. My man Grafh, one of the best lyricists in New York, period. He dropped a new project. To be honest, that's what I've been going back to most out of anything is Graph's project. Good energy. If you guys get the chance to peek that, go ahead. Really classic New York sounding stuff on this, but he also shows glimpses where he sounds like kind of like a black Eminem, to be honest. Like, and that might turn some people away, but it's like Slim Shady type Eminem. It's crazy. The tone in his voice, the randomness in the lyrics, the word association. It's fucking amazing. And I suggest anybody that really loves lyrics to go check that out.
Yeah, you played a couple songs for me when we were in the car, and I really liked what you played. I haven't listened to that or the Mozzie album. Like I said in the chat the other day, I've just been stuck on Hellboy from Lil Peep since it got put back out. I'm in a certain. It's like it kind of like came out at the right time in my life, like where I want to listen to that type of music.
Better you feel.
Yeah.
Yo, Andrew.
Yo.
I just got to shout out real quick. That sweatshirt looking fire.
Yeah, that sweatshirt is gas. I just noticed that too.
It's an older one. I've actually got some merch on the way, so I'm glad you guys mentioned that because it's something I'm excited about. This is something that I put together, and it's been a reason why it's taken me a while to get something done is because I put this together and I like the look of it, but it's just faded a lot real quick. So that's been the biggest issue I've had with putting out merch is I want something that's going to be quality. So I found a really good distributor that's going to give me a decent price for real quality stuff for people that I'm going to feel confident in selling. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I got that coming over the next month or so. So I'm glad you guys mentioned that. And with the asking you guys what we're streaming thing, it's not to bury Sheridan just yet. We'll get to that point in a little bit. But it's so we could actually talk about what we are listening to because we do talk about a lot of the local stuff. But I think in terms of what we stream throughout the week, in terms of mainstream stuff, we all kind of have our varying tastes. Sheridan listening to Hellboy, me listening to MGK, and then you listening to Grafh. It gives people a little bit more of an idea of what our actual individual tastes are, you know?
Absolutely. And one thing, that brings up a great point because we always shed light on Upstate, and to be honest, it's always more local than anything. Conway dropped one of the best projects of the year, and I'm not even sure if we mentioned it. And that's as upstate as it gets. You feel me? We might have like mentioned it briefly, but Jesus Christ, that was a great album.
Well, and they got another project on the way this week, don't they? Not West Side, right?
West Side. It's supposed to go. Jesus. It went Conway, and then their female artist Armani Cazer dropped a project, which was pretty dope. I wasn't the largest fan of it, but it was really dope to see what their female candidate can do. West Side's up, and then I think it's Benny, and then Boldy.
Yeah.
It's like son.
Dude, what is this? Benny's third or not Benny? West Side's third or fourth
third, yeah.
album?
Third this year, and he might have 2 of the top 10 albums this year. Like, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say that, but I think he has one.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it could go back and forth. I think Pray for Paris is a little bit better than Fly God.
Yeah, me too.
But I can't be mad at anybody putting both of those in their top 10.
Yeah, me either. I think they're both really good albums. And actually, now that I say that, I just this week actually did go back to Fly God. So as much as I liked Pray for Paris better, I do like Fly God a lot as well.
Fly God brought Stove God to the world's eyes. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And that's one of my favorite artists right now. So.
Yeah, and this is West Side's first official release under Shady, I guess. So take that for if it means anything to you. It's kind of interesting to me. So
really?
Yeah, that's something they've been talking about in the articles I've been reading. I'm almost positive, so I might be off on that.
I think that might actually be like significant.
Mm-hmm. So
it is significant. I mean, bro, they're not gonna be with Shady for too long. They're gonna get this term over, whatever their contract stipulates, and then I'm pretty sure they're gonna be gone.
And he's dropping on an interesting Friday too. He's got a little bit of competition with 21's dropping this Friday, so
I'm excited for that.
That's not competition. They're completely different.
Well, in terms of it would be a much easier weekend for West Side to get new eyes on him, depending on who you ask. If there wasn't any major artist dropping,
I think it is competition because it's different music that people can choose to listen to. But I don't think that he's competing with the 21 Savages.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I'm gonna listen to both. But because 21's coming out and West Side's come out 2 times this year, I'm listening to 21 first personally. But
and I guess that's a good point. There are the occasional fan that crosses over and listens to both. But there's more like extremists.
Some people make an argument that it's better to drop on the same week as a major because then people are looking at the streaming services and might see you up with the new releases. So it could help, it could benefit, but just because people might not even know that West Side's dropping this Friday, so they'll see, oh shit, another new West Side album. So maybe they'll check it out. I don't think it's major competition. I think West Side's gonna do the same typical numbers he would do with his fan base, but
if it's under Shady,
it could be better.
Shady, yeah, I think he could do better numbers personally.
It's lacking promo though. It's only maybe a week or two of promo, I would say.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think Fly God was almost like a surprise release. Like he teased it a little bit leading up to it, but it was almost like an extra gift after Pray for Paris. And this one, it seems like the least amount of promo was put in it, at least from what I can see. I thought Benny was supposed to drop on the 25th. I know that Benny delayed his project, and so I think West Side is dropping his because of that. I'm not 1,000% sure, but if I do the math in my head, I think West Side is creeping up a little bit because Benny's pushed his
Have
back.
You guys seen the track? You probably haven't, but have you seen the track list for this West Side Gun project?
Oh yeah, it's nuts.
No.
Yeah.
Slick Rick is on it
Black
twice.
Thought.
Wow.
Stove God Cooks is on it. I know, Ant, you've been talking about him all year, so that's interesting. A lot of Benny.
I'm a big Black Thought fan.
I was talking to Stove God Cook's brother a couple weeks ago, and according to Stove God's brother, he says that Stove God is like, he's Griselda. It's just not official yet. Like the paperwork is being handled right now.
That's tough though. I believe it to an extent, you know what I mean? But Griselda a lot of people this year and over the last year and a half have been like Griselda extended. You know what I mean? Not Griselda, but close. So
I would beg to differ. I would say there's BSF, which is Betty's shit, and then there's Griselda, which is Arbody, Conway, Boldy, Westside, and Betty. You feel me? That's Griselda. I think adding Stove God to that roster almost makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I just think we've speculated on that type of thing like once or twice this year, where it's just a conversation that seems to be had anytime an upstate artist, especially in that scene, really starts to get a lot of buzz for themselves. It's like, oh, they're gonna become part of Griselda.
Well, a lot of them have,
and that's true because Griselda does have their like finger on the pulse.
I just think he was on Westside's last project twice. He was on Westside's project this time.
True.
And when you look at the track list, it's cohesive with.
It's like a collab tape almost.
Exactly. So we'll see when the paperwork becomes official.
True.
But I was talking to this random dude, and I was trying to tell him, no, he's not on Griselda. He's signed to Rock Marciano and Busta Rhymes. And he was like, yeah, for now, until that paperwork gets handled. And you can't tell me because that's my blood brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. Like,
fair enough.
I guess you got it. And Stove God and Tusi are Ty Vegas's cousins.
Damn.
How fucking wild is that?
That's crazy.
I didn't know they both. I knew Tusi was.
Yeah, he told me that they're both blood cousins. So that's nuts.
That's a talented family right there, bro. But
right.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on in music this week. We got some new local tracks as well. PS dropped his first single, Nighttime. We got Long Nights by Young Finito. Ryan Bronson dropped a track titled Blessings. PB Rod dropped a track titled Not in Love. As I mentioned at the top of the show, our man Pizza. I can't. I'm gonna struggle with that one. Pizza dropped a new track on SoundCloud. Make sure you guys go check that out. And then there's a new video from Blade Shine titled The Blame Is Mine. So make sure y'all check those out. A lot of new local tracks this week, and a lot of interesting stuff dropping this weekend, right? And Sheridan, when does your video drop? Is it this Friday? Or did it drop?
My video's out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It wasn't on the list. I just haven't promoted it. Yeah, so Sheridan's video is out also on Apple Music only, right? Exclusive for right now, so.
Yeah, it's on Apple Music exclusive right now. I'm gonna look to try to get it on like a YouTube channel or something. If not, I'll just probably pick a date for it to go out on my YouTube. But Apple Music, man, it was hard to get that shit on Apple Music. They got it. I mean, I feel like it's probably not hard. I probably just didn't.
You made it hard for yourself.
The directions, yeah, it's just like it's very specific about how you can upload the video to their platform. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's kind of it's interesting to know that because it does make sense. I've had to jump through a couple hoops with Apple a couple times trying to get the podcasts I do onto Apple. So that's been kind of difficult. So it's interesting to see the same situation with videos. And do you think it'll be? Well, it probably won't be an issue with YouTube because you'll have already fixed all the problems. But it wouldn't have been an issue with YouTube at all before,
nah,
right?
I've been posting on YouTube since I was in like 7th grade.
Yeah. So. It's interesting, though.
YouTube even gets complicated for me sometimes, just trying to get the specifics right. You got to make, like, if you're putting on a cover art, you got to make sure that's right. If you put on a header, like, it's true. Complicated. Mm-hmm. You just have to make sure shit is right, or else it's just not going to work.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. There is, I guess I'm just used to the YouTube specifics. Apple has, like, very weird, it's like, how thick are the black bars, like...
Right.
All this shit is just like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah. Cool. So make sure you guys check all of that out. We also have our competition episode coming in a couple of weeks now because this is episode 27, I want to say. So we are 3 weeks out. That would put us at about October 20th for the next or October 21st for the next competition episode. So we might as well just start taking entries now. I will go ahead and post the email in the comments and get that rocking and rolling so we can get another competition episode going. Those are always fun, so make sure you get participation going. We will be sure to be promoting that all over Facebook this time. So a lot of fun coming along.
Facts. I'm unbanned in 5 days. 5 days. I'm unlocked.
You got that shit. You ready? I know you coming back talking heavy shit.
Nah, dude, coming back.
He's a new man.
Politically
He's
correct.
a clean man.
Dude, if I get banned again, I might get
I
banned
told
for
you,
like
you
life.
need a
Like,
burner.
you can't really mess
You
around
needed
with it.
You should have made a burner this time. That's where you fucked up. You spent your 30 days slacking. You should have been building up that fan base on another account.
Damn right I have, honestly. And I still scroll. I still look through Facebook, and I'll try to comment on some shit, and it'll be like, you still have this many days left. I'm like,
Man's is locked up. Soon.
One drop that happened in Upstate in the local scene that I wanted to say that I forgot is some Ithaca artist. We've talked about him before. Dollars. He dropped Dollars is Power, I think. He dropped the video leading up to it. Then he just dropped the actual album. And I forgot because I didn't see it on the 607 release schedule type shit that they always do.
Right.
And so I just wanted to give that a quick shout out.
Yeah, 100%. And shout out to 607 Sound too, because they do a really good job at that. I know even I struggle keeping up with everything that drops every week. So shout out to them for keeping up with everything that they keep up with. It can be a bit difficult trying to keep up with stuff, especially when everyone's not always letting you know what's going on beforehand. So.
Hell yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been finding out of a couple new artists a week from 607 recently. He's been finding some new merch.
Dude, that one merch that he shared of the food thing. Did you see that, Sheridan, or no? It was crazy, like the coolest merch thing I've seen done in like a local area, probably ever, really. Like, it was really dope. So check out 607 Sound. They keep us updated on a lot of cool shit. In terms of mainstream news, it's time to get to the nitty-gritty, Sheridan. We've let you sit tight for about 20 minutes. We got to talk about Tory Lanes' new project, the smear campaign going on along with it. We're probably going to join the fun. I don't know. I honestly want to make this an interesting conversation because I think that our viewers are going to be a little bit more split maybe than we are. At least in terms of my timeline, what my timeline has shown. It's not as maybe cut and dry to everyone else as it seems to be to me, and I can understand that open-mindedness to an extent, but at the same time, I think it is still pretty cut and dry. But Sheridan, you're the only one who listened to the project, so you could tell us at least how the project was, what it touched on, and your thoughts on it.
So he immediately comes out swinging. The beginning. He plays samples of like just a bunch of people basically saying fuck him, he should be canceled. The last thing is like Tory Lanes is done, he's finished or something like that, and then it goes into him. He starts off like kind of just talking like regular Tory shit, like I fucking flip the work and fucking get bitches, and then like within probably the like fourth or fifth line he like gets to the like actual meat of what he's trying to talk about. Pause. He basically is saying, and I just want to what he's trying to say is that one, he's still in love with this girl, he would never do this. Two, the story doesn't really make sense. How could she have identified him as a shooter if she was walking away? Two, people who like were supposed to be his friends are coming out and denouncing him without even asking him about the story or contacting him. He takes issue with more than a few things, and he sounds like his tone of voice is very like fuck, like it seems like he's very like upset, and he's like, how is this happening right now? But then by the end he's like, nah, fuck you guys, like I know that this story is gonna come out and all of you are gonna feel stupid. I can't really speak on too much. Why would I have spoken on too much at this point? Everybody thinks that I should have made a statement, but I can't do that because of course this and that. And I guess what some people's argument is like, then why are you putting it in an album? He doesn't really necessarily incriminate himself in any way on the album, which, again, I think he still should have made some type of statement before that if he didn't do it. I think sonically, the album's amazing. It's a great album, sonically. It's period. I I don't believe Tory Lanes. I don't not believe Tory Lanes. I'm at the point where I'm really confused. When I first heard Megan's live, I was like, yeah, this dude. Well, when it first came out, I was like, fuck no, no way this happened. Like, this is crazy. Like, this doesn't even, not even because like I didn't want to believe it, but just because I was like, this doesn't even make sense. Meg comes out with her story. I immediately believe her. I'm like, what the fuck? But I still, the story doesn't really add up to me. But I'm like, if she's saying it happened, then it must have happened. Why would she lie? Now that this album comes out, listening to it, his story adds up a little bit more than hers does.
Well, what's his story?
What's his story?
Yeah, what's his story?
Like, it's basically that I'm not totally in understanding of who he is saying. I don't think he's saying who it is.
Okay.
I don't really.
Let me say this, because I haven't heard the album, but I've read many, many, many quotes from the album. I've even looked up lyrics to certain songs so I can read all the lyrics to certain songs, just so I can have a glimpse of what Son is talking about. And to me, he seems all over the place. He goes from saying, how did you get shot, to I didn't shoot you, to how do you know who shot you, back to you didn't get shot at all. Like, to me, that's 3 or 4 different stories right there. You feel me? And I didn't hear the album, but is that facts? Like, because that's not concise. That's not having your story straight. That's many different narratives to me personally. Because you don't have to question how you got shot if you're not the one who shot you. The bones and tendons in your foot are going to get fucked up.
I think
why does that matter if nobody shot you? Or if somebody else shot you? You feel me?
I think from what I gathered, I guess I kind of think that he was saying that she wasn't shot, period. I think what his argument, or what he was alluding to, was it has to do with the label and the fact that he bought his masters and freed himself with the label, went independent. Something to do with that. He thinks that the label is trying to like ruin him, basically.
I hear that.
Or that's what he's saying has happened. And again, I just want to reiterate, I don't like everything he could be saying could be totally untrue. I'm the type of person that I want to see like actual evidence or some type of proof that is going to sway me one way or the other. Even if it isn't definitive proof or like a video, I'm basically taking one person's word versus another, and one of the person's word happens to make more sense to me, and then one of the person's I feel like I'm obligated to believe more. So that's why I'm kind of just like in the middle.
You're not obligated to believe anything. It's just one person came out with a story. You feel me? The other person did something salacious he's getting money off of it. Anytime somebody listens to this album, he gets paid for it. No, Meg didn't get paid for the live streams of her just coming out and saying what happened. If I was Tory...
But what he's saying is she's getting paid to put this story out. That's what his whole thing is the label's paying her to, like, he says something like, I would never like change up on you or like switch up on you for some mills or some shit like that, and basically saying like she's like doing it for money and because she's also being threatened.
This nigga, people were trying to convince me that it's a heartbreak album. It's like he's begging for Meg Thee Stallion back, confessing his love to her. But how do you do that if on the same album you say you have a crush on Kylie Jenner? Like, how do you do that? Like,
I don't think that's what he was saying. I think he was just saying that he still loves, like, that. At least how I took it, took it as like he still loves her and he just wants this, like, he's basically like, he says something about how like even if she comes out now and says that she was lying and it was bullshit, that he would forgive her and not care.
Exactly. Yo, to me, it seems like he just wants to pull on everybody's love strings. He wants
maybe. I'm not saying. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't just take what Meg said at face value. There's her side of the story, there's Tory's side, and then there's the truth.
Yeah.
But one of them is going about their narrative in such a way that I can't really hold any credit to it. And if we've seen people gain ownership of their masters and really be killed. Like, I think Michael Jackson was killed because of the shit that he did. I think Bill Cosby was on a mission, and granted, he did those things that he's accused of, but I think they came out in such a way that it was a destructive end to, it was a whole plan. Somebody came up with that. It was a conspired plan to bring that shit down. There are way easier ways that you could probably bring Tory Lanes down without saying he shot Meg Thee Stallion. You feel me? Like, I think that this, at the end of the day...
But this was a convenient situation, I feel like, for them to be able to... Like, if this happened, they got in a fight, somehow she got glass in her foot, I don't know, whatever, if that's what happened.
Somehow.
Again,
bro, she really got surgery though. That's what I don't get. Like, if she really got surgery
that's a
and
convenient
shit.
Situation.
It's all so weird to me. I feel like Tory hasn't said much before this at all, and then just drops an album about it, and it's all just confusing. Because I don't really know Tory's story at all. I do understand to an extent, like, yes, maybe the labels are mad that Tory's going independent. But it's just Tory Lanes. Like, this isn't some superstar that's really going to shift how shit works in the music industry. Like, Tory going independent isn't going to change much for anyone but Tory. It's not going to hurt the label's overhead. They're going to still make what they make. And Tory's probably going to make a little bit more money. It's not like a Drake who's really going to hurt the label's overhead and inspire artists underneath him to go independent. It's just Tory. So just in that circumstance alone, it's really hard for me to wrap my head around that's the reason why this happened. It does become interesting, though. Like, her friend apparently unfollowed her on social media. She unfollowed her friend on social media that was involved with that night. I don't know if they're both just... It could be something totally unrelated. It could be related to the situation in some way. So it does kind of add a little bit more speculation to what the fuck is going on. I feel like Meg's still... Her lack of responding to anything on the album leads to more confusion, because if nothing he's saying is true, wouldn't it be very simple?
She posted...
But didn't she just
posted on Instagram with her... wearing rings that said "fuck you."
That to me is nothing though. Like, why can't you? I would just address it all, and I understand that there's legal implications behind that.
I don't think she is obligated to do that.
If I a little bit disagree with that, Andrew, just because she already addressed it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like,
but at a certain point, once you're a celebrity,
or if he did it, I meant not she did it.
At that point, it's like, at that point, why are you saving face? Like, if you let Tory Lane's album convince you anything else, then you probably, or even lead it up to interpretation, you're probably not gonna believe Meg because she comes out and talks about what Tory's saying. You feel me? I think if you, whatever your perception is of the situation up until now isn't really gonna change until the truth comes out.
Yeah.
I don't think. What's up?
I've had this question. I've been thinking about it for a second. Why is it okay, or like why were y'all okay with listening to 6ix9ine's album but not Tory's album?
Because 6ix9ine to me is a danger to himself and the culture. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
well, but I mean, people would argue that he's a danger to people that he snitched on and put in jail for all this time.
Because what 6ix9ine did is, to me, he's a joke. He's not. It's disrespectful. You feel me? I can almost pay him no mind. I'm not okay with Tory, and I don't know the situation, bro. But at face value, the situation seems to be that Tory Lanez shot Meg Thee Stallion.
Right.
And even if he didn't do it, she got shot. I'm not, until something comes out that says Meg wasn't shot at all, to me, she got shot in her foot. Whether it was by Tory, he knows who did it. You feel me? I understand the not snitching. I'm not expecting Tory Lanez to come out and snitch on anybody or himself. But I don't want to let this narrative be okay. I don't respect how he went out and dropped the album without addressing any of this. You feel me? It seems too salacious. It seems almost like a Hail Mary. And it's completely just discrediting another black woman and her trauma. You feel me? I think what 6ix9ine did is almost a joke. I felt okay listening to 6ix9ine's music because he's gonna fizzle out in a little bit, and I wanted to know if it was genuinely good or not. I had to talk about it on the podcast. I like making jokes to you about 6ix9ine, you feel me? And I like making informed jokes. So when I hear his music is ass, I can tell you his music is ass. I know Tory Lanez is a phenomenal artist. I love his music. I know how talented he is. I can't let the idea of how talented his music is let me believe that his actions are okay.
So
The only stance that I can take on his actions not being okay are not streaming his music.
do you draw that line with like any artist though?
No, not every single artist. I mean, I try to separate an artist's personal life from their music as much as I can. When the XXX shit was going down, I felt weird listening to some of his music, but it didn't stop me completely. You feel me? I don't listen to R. Kelly anymore. I just don't listen to R. Kelly anymore.
Were you putting R. Kelly on before?
Hell yeah. What, nigga? What?
I'm the type that like when it comes on, I'm gonna listen to him, but like I still will listen to it if it comes on, but like I'm never the type to like put on R. Kelly.
Yeah, I think at a point I did kind of make like a conscious decision of certain artists that I did and didn't want to listen to based upon like certain situations. And I get where that, like, Sheridan, you're making a face, and I get where that almost becomes, like, confusing, or, like, how can you make that decision, especially based on, like, every artist has a past and shit. But
I still listen to the Beatles. Like, John Lennon used to beat his girlfriends. Like, I feel like if I start to draw the line at rappers, like, I feel like a lot of people do. They're like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit, like, he did this, but they'll still listen to these old 60s bands with pieces of shit that were the frontmen.
Like this. I have not fully canceled Tory Lanez yet. Tory Lanez is on hold right now. You feel me? Because I do not know the truth to this situation. I don't plan on listening to old Tory Lanez right now, but I know for sure I'm not going to listen to the album that he made capitalizing on a black woman's trauma. You feel me?
If it comes out that she wasn't shot, will you listen to it?
Yeah, and I'll probably make a post like, damn, the media is crazy and I'm stupid. You feel me? Like I'm not one saying I know the truth. I just really don't like how everybody one day it's like, oh my God, Meg this, Meg that. Well, not even, because there were some people like Meg deserved to get shot. She has a dick, blah, blah, like this and that. You feel me?
That shit made me sick.
A lot of those people, now that Tory Lanez dropped the album, are just using that to continue their narrative. Yeah. You feel me? I don't think people want to believe Meg, and I don't think some people even care.
Some people honestly are using this situation to justify their own demons and their own fucking poor choices in life, to be quite honest with you. And that's where it becomes sad. And like, it's even harder because some people are genuinely not like that. And then you have other people who are defending it just because they're not, they either have their own opinion on it, they're diehard Tory fans or some shit, but there are literally people who just use this situation to try and like justify their own bullshit to an extent. Like,
that I'm like, I don't want to just believe something that's like.
That's kind of a reason why I haven't listened to the music, bro.
I believe what I see.
That's why I haven't listened to the music, because I feel like if you like the music, it's gonna push you regardless if you think it's really true or not. If you like the music enough, you're gonna be biased a little bit. No matter which.
That's not true, because I think Tory Lanez is one of the most talented artists in the game right now.
Right, but I feel like you might not be, but you haven't listened to him rap about this situation. I feel like if you hear him rap about this situation, you might change your opinion a little bit. That's one reason why I haven't listened to it. I know I'll like the project, and it'll shift my opinion at least a little bit on the whole situation and push me, because even now, because I like Tory, it's made me have a little bit more of an open mind. If Tory was Tekashi, I would have no problem being like fuck him entirely because of the situation, but because I don't really like his music like that. That's why I like you say, we listened to Tekashi's project, yeah, but then after the one time I was good. Like, that's it. With Tory's project, I know I would be going back to that. So that's why I kind of make a conscious decision. Like, I can't support an artist that might have done some shit like this, especially in like a public matter.
Yeah, I'm just separating the act of potentially shooting Meg Thee Stallion to dropping an album about the shooting of Meg Thee Stallion.
On the week of the Breonna Taylor ruling, like there's so much that, like, when you really get down to it, man.
Because even if Tory didn't shoot Meg, even if Meg never got shot, I still think the dropping the album is corny as all hell. I still think the way he went about it is corny as all hell. It's not about how good the music is, because if you're Tory Lanes, you're going to put out good music. Tory has a battle rap background. He can rap with some of the nicest in the game, and he can sing with he can sonically match some of the best in auto-tune currently in hip-hop. I know that if he wants to get at Meg, if he wants to get at JoJo, if he wants to get at any of the people talking about him, he can do that with quickness and witty. It will be nice. It's not necessarily about that to me. He could have went about this completely differently. You can talk about a situation without incriminating you or anybody else. And I'm not anybody to tell you how to handle your business. Tory Lanez does not give a fuck about it, Anthony Cannon. But I need to see more from him before I give any merit to what he's saying. You feel me? Because to me, I've only heard what I expect him to say. If he said some shit that I didn't expect, and I haven't heard the album, I've only read lyrics. And from what everybody is telling me, it makes sense. Of course he's going to say he's in love with Meg Thee Stallion. Of course he's going to say he didn't do it. Of course he's going to shit on the people coming at him. Like, that makes sense to me, regardless on if he did it or not, if he's trying to manipulate the story or not, or if he's spitting the truth. It makes sense. Like, I just don't know why he couldn't say, if he loved Meg Thee Stallion, bro, like he says he did in the album, this is not how he would go
If
about
he did do it, he is the dumbest fucking person in the entire world. Not just for doing it. Like, that in and of itself is one thing. But to the way he has handled it. Because from the way, like, it appears with what Meg is saying, like, in the very beginning, she was just kind of going to let it rock. It wasn't going to be something that was going to be a super public matter. But then they tried to twist the narrative off of him because people were going to assume what they were going to assume. And if he did it, I mean, people are going to assume that he did it. But so the way, like, him constantly twisting the narrative, if he did it and didn't just fall back and just stay silent and let it just try and blow over, then the way he's gone about it makes no sense. Like, it's so stupid to drop an album about something when you did it. I get trying to convince people otherwise in the media, but it's so dumb.
That's when monetizing comes into play.
But it didn't even do numbers, so that's where it's dumb. Like, it's not.
I didn't. The numbers weren't that bad.
Yo, it's not. They weren't great numbers, but he profited off of it. I can promise you that. You feel me? And if you're truly about to get canceled, if you think that this is your last chance to make big money off of something, you're gonna make it as salacious as possible.
You think this is big money though? Like, I don't think this is big money in terms of, like, a lot of the numbers are off of streams. It's not like they're pure sales. So the money he's really recouping off of that isn't a whole lot. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
Not a lot compared to Tory Lanez. Compared to me, it's a fucking lot. But for a Tory Lanez,
if it's an independent project, if you sell 40,000 independently, you're profiting more than if you sold 100,000 signed.
No doubt, 100%. But it's still like it's still streams, right? You know what I mean? Like 100%. It's money. I just think that for a Tory Lanez level artist, like, it's not as much income as he might have hoped to bring in off of his first independent project. Like that.
Well, not even for your first independent
Nah,
project, I
but he
think
had a
it's
lot of hype
decent
behind
sales
that.
numbers.
It's not.
I don't know, dude.
And
I
it's a
think it did
surprise
pretty
drop.
good numbers
Yo, it's a
considering.
surprise. He advertised it for 3 hours. You feel me? He
But
didn't
it
get
has
any
a
of the.
fucking a literal shooting as a build up. It's like how much
Yeah,
more?
but you can't even see it on Apple Music or Spotify or anything. So people
Everyone
literally gotta
but
search it out.
everyone
And
was talking about. I mean, you're right. I don't know.
all I'm saying, for an independent project, the numbers are
You're
good.
right, but what
For an
I'm
Yeah.
saying is
album
Tory would
about
have expected
for an
better
album about
numbers.
the most. For
I
a,
don't think he did.
well, you don't know. We don't know what he's supposed to do because this is his first independent project. It's different. Like now,
I think what's telling is what his next independent project does. That's what's gonna be really like. I think that's what's gonna be telling of where his career is
My
gonna go.
point is just that like when Tory went independent, he wasn't expecting to
Tory-
have this problem on his hands where he wasn't going to be promoted. He wasn't going to be featured on iTunes.
Tory
So
was-
he had an expectation to do much better numbers than what he did here.
Tory was expecting 80 to 100K. I know that this is a flop in terms of what he expected and probably what the world expected.
But
I'm
this wouldn't have been the album he dropped.
I'm just
You're
saying,
right.
as a complete independent project, the numbers are good.
None of those songs are hit type of songs.
An album in terms of the most relevant thing in the fucking mainstream media right now, no, the numbers are not good. But just as an independent project, yeah,
and
I'm sure he did not expect to drop all those names and sell 40,000.
true.
He's competing with the other two albums that he's competing with are two pop albums, and he did mostly rap on this album.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's not horrible numbers. Looking at it, I thought it was closer to like 30,000, not between 40 and 50. So either way,
Yeah, and that's like not a huge drop from his albums when he was on his label.
yeah.
75 to 100, I think, is what he normally does.
Facts.
Nah, 70, or I think 83 was what he did on Chicks Tape, maybe, and all his other albums were in the 50s.
Damn.
So, I don't know. We'll have to see what the future holds for Tory Lanez. It's definitely a confusing situation overall. I don't blame people for listening to the music and shit. I do find it interesting though that people go out of their way to just defend the man for whatever reason on social media. It's like Tory ain't gonna defend you, so you're wasting a lot of time defending somebody over some shit that you're probably gonna end up looking foolish in the long run and won't even admit it. So.
But that's one thing. If it comes out that Meg is lying,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, I'll have no issue just completely avoiding her for the rest of my life. Like, she'll just be a dub to me, you feel me? But if I find out that I was still supporting Tory and defending him and he did shoot Meg, or
I think he like
intended-
shot at her is the situation, you know what I mean? That's why there was no like tendons and shit. It's a situation of like of phrasing basically. Because from what I read at one point he shot at the ground and was telling her dance bitch. So if you do that and then a piece of the bullet shoots off the ground and hits her in the foot, yeah, she's not gonna have any like tendon split or whatever, but she's gonna be fucked up enough to need surgery. So it's all a very interesting situation that we weren't
Yeah,
there.
it said there was shrapnel in her
We weren't
foot.
there, so we don't totally know. But there's enough that we know, enough that I've seen, and enough that I've heard or haven't heard from Tory that just kind of makes me feel like I don't know, man. I don't know. So
Yeah, I mean,
I hope the best. I'm
like-
seriously a huge Tory fan. I love Tory's music. It's literally the one reason why I won't listen to this project because I know I will like it, and it's just strange to support someone in the middle of a situation like this, especially with the world the way it is, and just yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird situation. I can't blame anybody for checking out the project because at the end of the day, you know it's gonna be decent music. I just think it just oozes corniness to me.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
That
I
too.
just don't. I don't know. I'll figure out the story by the story coming out, not by how you decided to put it into a song to sell.
Facts.
You feel me?
Definitely curious to see what the comments will say during this one. But the next topic is an interesting one. I'm not sure if you guys even heard about this one, but Lil Baby did an interview and basically said that he's not really going to be continuing on in the political side of music. He said that the one politically based track that he dropped is going to be one and done situation. After being involved in stuff, he didn't really want to keep on that route. What did you guys think of that? Do you think that that's... I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys think.
I think personally, it's more than anybody thought Lil Baby was gonna do. I'm sure nobody expected him to come out with a song like The Bigger Picture. I'm sure when he dropped it, he knew it was gonna be really good, but I doubt he realized he was gonna be put with J. Cole and Kendrick temporarily. Like, people were losing their fucking minds about that song.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably got a little bit more on his plate than he bargained for, and decided to take a step back. I can't blame him. I'm not mad at him, but I would love to see him continue on that route.
Right.
I did see this actually, and so I was a little bit taken back when I saw the headline for this. But the more I think about it, the more I just think nobody expects Lil Baby to be the spearheading pioneer of some political rap movement, you feel me? So I'm more so appreciative that he decided to step in it at all. And I don't know, I just hope that he continues to grow.
Yeah.
Because you have to do political music to continue to grow and do empowering shit like that, you feel me? Because he's shown a lot of versatility this year. He's shown that he is one of the top rappers or hit makers in music in the past year or two. So I just know whatever he does, I don't want him to fizzle out. I don't think he has crazy longevity, but I think he really could be on for the next 2-3 years. And so I don't want to hear him make the same song over and over again.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed about it because, like, I thought that what he was doing was important because you're right. He wasn't someone that people had expected to really get into that scene and do something like that. And so a whole new portion of listeners were sort of introduced to something that they might not be in tune with in a time where we need as many people to be on our side as we can for all intents and purposes, really. And so from that part, I'm just bummed. I definitely don't blame him, man, because a quote from what he said, I don't want to be no Malcolm X or Martin Luther. I stuck my nose in it. I'm good on that. And I can't blame him because I feel like it's a big reason a lot of people don't really go right out there into the front lines. It's a lot of reasons why people don't want to be the Rodericks of the world, and the reason why Roderick has to take a step back sometimes from social media, because even just on that small local scale, there's a lot more to it than just being a lead person or someone trying to help the cause. So I totally get it, but I'm also bummed about it. You know what I mean?
Definitely bummed. I mean, at the end of the day, the more you dabble into the political side of music, if he came out with a couple more bigger pictures, he's not just going to continue. He can't just drop music like that now. You feel me? You have to go into the streets. You have to be seeking reform. You have to be putting your money where your mouth is now, because now you're not just a musician. You've inserted yourself into that realm. That's why No Name came out at the people she did. You feel me? Because too much this going on, but not enough actions behind the music itself. So a lot of people don't want that stigma. Not everybody is a Killer Mike. I don't like the statement, I'm not no Martin, I'm not Malcolm X. I think, like, of course you're not, and nobody's asking you to be, so that's a little dramatic, but I get what he's saying. You feel me? There's a lot that comes with that, and not everybody, like, music is supposed to just be fun at the end of the day, you feel me? Especially the type of music that he makes. Maybe he's not having as much fun as he was before. I get it.
I don't blame him so much for that statement, though, because I get it. Like, he probably went from being someone who was never really tweeted about political stuff to then people on both sides bombarding him of, like, when are you going to do another one? Will you do this rally? Will you do this thing? Will you do that? And then on the other side of racist people being like, fuck you and everything you're talking about. And, like, so I can understand it. He went from 0 to 100. And so in that sense, I can get why you might feel like you're like a Martin Luther situation. But yeah, I get what you're saying too, Ant. No one was really expecting that from Lil Baby, but I get his sentiment.
Well, so here's how I feel. I mean, as much as I'd like to hear him continue to build on that, I can't think of a white artist who is expected to make political music or expected to do that type of thing. So even if they've done it once, I can't think of like a lot of I can think of a lot of pop artists or whatever, or rock artists who will make one political song and everybody's like, yeah, that's awesome, and then nobody expects them to make another
America,
one.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Lil Baby should be expected to do any of that. I don't really have a problem with his statements. I'm not the biggest fan of his music, political or not, but I would have been excited to hear that he was going to continue to build on that, you know. But I don't really care or expect him to. So,
Yeah,
that's
You dabble in that realm, and a lot of people normally dabble in that realm, and you see it hurt themselves. You see it. They normally can create.
It splits your fan base.
Yeah.
Exactly. It splits your fan base, and it doesn't go number one. Lil Baby went number one like that. He dropped it, and it was crazy. That song rang the fuck out, and a lot of it is because people's expectations.
Yeah.
Like we keep going back to, you don't expect that from him. I'm not sure how many of these Lil Baby is capable of creating. You feel me? He might have used all his political stances in one song. I don't know his mind, what he is as a person. A lot of people almost feel like hypocrites, or like they're not even supposed to talk on this shit. You feel me? Because the position they are, or the life and background that
he mentioned that in the song, really, at points. You know what I mean? Sort of to that extent. Like
I can't rap like I don't rap about killing and dope, but I'm telling my youngins to vote.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fact. He rap, like, if you've listened to if Lil Baby's introduction was The Bigger Picture, you'll probably be confused. But if you've known about him for the last 2 years,
that's so funny, because that's definitely me. I am that fan you just described. Like, I knew of Lil Baby, but in terms of actually listening to his music, that was it. So that's probably a big reason why I'm disappointed too. But like, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. It makes sense, and you're right. Like, it was a great song. So how do you follow up with that?
Have you guys heard Chopper's, NLE Chopper's, like, new sounds, new music that he's going with? Oh my God, son, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
You gotta tag me.
I don't think he's dropped it. I listened to it on a preview, but I got it in my phone, so I'll send it to you. Bro, it's different, and it sounds like something that he can continue to build off of. And if you go by his tweets, this nigga's on some weird enlightened shit. So it sounds like he's trying to take a different path in terms of the music he's trying to create. I don't see Lil Baby or many artists like him taking that stance for a prolonged period of time. It's going to hurt their sales. Yeah. It's going to completely change the way they branded themselves. So I'm excited to see who's the next person to drop a song like that. Because
it would be so much better for the culture if it wasn't an expectation on one artist, but every artist kind of did their part. You know what I mean? And I know that even that sounds kind of crazy, because like Sheridan said, we don't have that expectation on white artists or the pop scene or the country scene. But it would be a lot easier if it wasn't just an expectation on the Coles and Kendricks, and instead everyone did a little bit more.
A couple months ago, probably around July, in the height of the George Floyd protests, before I even made the song to the video I'm about to drop this Friday, I think I asked you, Sheridan, on air. I asked you if you were going to make a song about the times. And as a white artist, you said that you didn't feel like it was your spot, or like you didn't, it was uncomfortable. You wanted to let other people's voices be heard. And I think that's the mindset a lot of white artists have. You feel me?
I agree with that. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just think that there's certain shit that they could speak on, like when it does, it's not necessarily like black or racial issues. I think that they aren't I guess I mean on like a larger scale, white artists aren't expected to be political, not just on this issue. And I think because I think a lot of times rappers are expected like, oh, they're talking about shit, they should be talking about something that's important. Well, a lot of artists and other genres talk about bullshit and nobody really like asks them to do that.
Facts.
Yeah, I think the mainstream white rappers that get popping, like the G-Eazys, the MGKs, the Jack Harlows, those are a different story. That's mainstream white artists, and that's hip hop. If you want to bring in the different genres, I'm not gonna be as well versed in those. But I don't put the same pressure on other genres that I do in hip hop because of the principles that hip hop was founded off of. But if you go down into like Evidence and Slug and Brother Ali, Vinny Paz, like white rappers, white lyricists, like the best white rappers in the world are heavily political.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they don't get the same freedom that some black artists do. You feel me? Like they just don't. There's a huge stigma around white artists, and so certain topics, certain sounds, they just don't dabble in. That's why they get the cliche and the stereotypes that they do. But some of the best white rappers are very, very political.
I just wanted to mention G-Eazy did make Fuck Donald Trump with Nipsey Hussle and did a remix with YG and Yo Gotti.
Yeah, so there you go. Speaking of
most political rapper ever.
Speaking of Donald Trump, we're not gonna get real political this week, but last night was the first presidential debate. All I'm really gonna say is get out there, register to vote. Even if you don't care about who becomes president, there's a lot of shit going on locally that you got to get out there and register to vote. It's something that I actually have done for the first time this year. It's not hard, and that's kind of why I didn't do it. And it sounds stupid to people who have registered to vote. They're kind of like, well, why the fuck not? For me, I'm a lazy person who's never had to, or never voted before, so I haven't gone through the process to realize that it's a very simple process, a very easy process. Social media has made it even more easy. I'm sure all of us have seen the little updates on your Facebook, your Snapchat, all that shit to help you register to vote. That's actually how I did it. I had to mail in something, so it's an important time to do that. If there's ever been a time to do it, it's probably now. So I don't know if you guys want to touch on the debate much, but
this will be my first year of voting, and I regret not voting for the Hillary and Donald election, simply because that was the first year that I was able to vote. I didn't particularly like either candidates. I didn't think that my vote counted. I thought that it was pointless. New York is a notoriously blue state, so normally it's not like my vote is gonna just sway the way the state goes or anything. But I urge everybody to register and get out to vote. This will be the first year that I take action myself. I'm encouraging all my peers too. It's really on us, because we could complain about America all we want, from our phones, from our laptops, to our friends, but what are we actively doing to try to change it? We want our opinions heard. This is how we can do it. The presidential debate was absolutely insane. I only got to catch the last 45 minutes of it. I watched it live last night, and just to hear them talking over each other like children.
Worse than we are.
Yeah, and it's absolutely insane. We're not even in the same room.
Yeah.
They were in the same room, I'm assuming. It's really difficult. I'm not a huge Joe Biden fan, but I really don't like Trump. And I'm not one of the people that think that Trump has never done anything kind of positive for the U.S., but I do not want another 4 years of him. I think he is a liability, to say the least. I think Joe Biden is a liability as well, but he's the only other option we have. Because if you vote third party, unfortunately, most likely that vote is just going to Trump. It's just taken away from a potential Biden vote. I wish we had more options, and we should try to implement a way to get more opportunities on the ballots in the future. I wish Bernie Sanders was on it. Hearing some of the things that Trump said yesterday was absolutely abhorrent and appalling. But I wish I could listen to Biden speak without fumbling through his sentences. You feel me? Like, he had a couple good points last night, but he's constantly stumbling over his words and repeating over lines that he's already said. It's kind of weird. How do you, did you watch it, Sheridan?
Nah, I told my friends I'd rather slam my head into a wall repeatedly than watch that. I mean, I knew exactly what everybody's like. Oh my God, this is the worst debate of all time. I'm like, no shit. Like, like I knew exactly what was gonna go on. I knew the topics that they were gonna. I could have gone up and done the debate. I could have acted it for them, and it would have went the same way.
Yeah.
It's just too predictable for me. I hate them both. I honestly don't think if you're in a state like New York, I don't think it fucking matters if you vote for Donald Trump or Joe Biden. Fuck Donald Trump. He's a piece of shit of garbage. Joe Biden might not be as bad, but I think the effects of him being president might be as bad. Because I think it might open up the door for another reactionary president to replace him, because the reason Donald Trump was elected in the first place was because people were tired of people like Joe Biden. I think it's still so fucking important to register to vote because of this.
Yeah.
Local elections are more crucial right now than they ever have been. We need to retake the house, and I'm not a big Democrat. I don't call myself a liberal. I think I'm a progressive, but I think we need to take the House and make it blue again. I think we need to take the Senate and make it blue again. One of them I think is blue. I don't know which, but they both need to be blue. Right now,
Donald Trump has appointed. They're all conservative party. You feel me? Like the people that he's appointed in the Congress and the Senate, it's kind of crazy. That's what we should be scared about. Because even if Trump's gone, the people that are gonna be passing laws and coming up with solutions and shit are people that he appointed for the most part. And we have an uphill battle.
Yeah.
That's why if Trump is in office with them, we don't stand a chance. We do got to take the House and make it blue again. I'm more Democratic than anything, but I hate labels. You feel me? I'm going to vote for whoever I believe is the best candidate. I typically, my morals, my values, and my ideas typically align with the Democratic Party more.
Facts.
Like, you feel me? Like, it's just a weird situation.
Mine too at face value.
Right. And the big point is that way we don't stay on politics for too long. It's just get out and vote, because everyone, even if you're not super like conservative or super Republican or super Democrat or super this or super that, whichever way you lie, like in order to make some type of impact in whatever you have going on, whatever you believe in. One of the biggest voting matters I have and reasons I want to vote is because marijuana's on the ballot in South Dakota. Like there is so much shit that you guys you could have a voice in and could have an opportunity to change, and you probably don't even know about it because you're not registered, so you don't care. So that's the big thing. Just vote, and whichever way you lean, whichever way you side, you gotta vote. And there's no way you watched last night and didn't think it was a fucking train wreck for either side at certain points. So we have that to look forward to for the next month.
My friend sent me a video of, I think it was Jake Tapper, who I don't know if he's from NBC or CNN, one of those fucking things. And he was like, that was a hot mess inside of like he just kept saying how bad it was in like 3 different ways.
My dad was born in 1960 and has been involved in politics since very young. He was in the Marines by like 22, 23, I think. So ever since then, he's been he's tried to stay up to date with everything America, because he's got some crazy fucking radical opinions and views. He said last night was probably the biggest shit show in American politics that he's ever personally witnessed.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot. That said a lot to me. It's terrifying. I mean, Trump alone not denouncing white supremacy and telling them to stand by.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he's done that before, though. They've tried to get him to do it before.
I know. It's just at this point, there's so many glaring red flags.
Right.
That show you.
it's
It should have been over before it started.
And hopefully it continues that way. Hopefully Biden can't do too much to fuck it up, and hopefully it just stays. I don't know. It's a train wreck, so it'll be a train wreck the next 2 or 3 debates. We'll keep our eyes on that.
I think it was a mistake for Biden to debate at all. I think he should have debated.
We'll see.
I think he's getting. Okay, sorry.
Bro. Yeah, let's wrap up the politics a little bit. We'll go ahead and keep this next one short too, because I don't think it's too debatable. Who y'all got in the NBA Finals? Lakers,
yeah,
right?
I got the Lakers, but I don't have a horse in the race.
No,
Lakers in 4.
Lakers in 4?
Just no love for the Heat at all, huh?
5 maybe.
That's crazy. The Heat won you money, and you just have no love for them to even win one game.
I mean, it's on paper. It's a horrible mismatch, bro.
Yeah.
But I just can't count the Heat out. You feel me?
If someone who's an outsider like me can see, that this is a horrible mismatch and the Heat got a lot stacked up against them, then yeah. But it's fun for them.
AD is going to make Bam look not good.
No, he's not. Statistically speaking, though, Andre Iguodala and Jimmy Butler are the 2 best defenders on LeBron in the NBA. He scores the least per possession against them out of anybody in the NBA, and they're both on the same team. Now, I don't think they're going to lock LeBron up, but the harder time that he has to get 35, the more it's going to affect them. You feel me? I think that Heat are a very good team. I think that they're still a piece away from a championship, but I can't count them out because they got the type of dog in them.
That's what's interesting about it is you can't count them out, and that's where it could get real fun, especially if they can make it a run past, like actually make it to 6 games. It could be a really fun series. If it goes down in 4 though, it won't be too surprising to anybody. I don't think so. That wraps up all the discussion topics we have, though, for this week. Go ahead and drop your comments on who you think is going to win the NBA Finals, and I guess who you think is going to win the presidential election if you really want. We have some local tracks to play. I'm going to play the first one. This one is from a guy called The Miserable Genius. We've talked about him a couple times on the podcast, but I feel like we don't talk about him enough for as talented as he is, so I wanted to play one of his old tracks this week titled Working Man, so we'll jump right into that.
Let's get it.
Was a working man, hustle trying to get that dough, overtime to no more time, Riverside, Buffalo, said Papa was a working man, hustle trying to get that dough, overtime to no more time, Riverside, Buffalo, my city recession hit, they don't want to see us win, they don't want to see us live, so I gotta do it big. Grew up in Riverside, lived by the park. Mama let me play outside until it was dark, and them street lights came on, shining the yellow light. Wouldn't let me venture far, afraid I'd be a felon type. Paranoid of the world, but inside they were yelling fight. Teachers thought I was hella nice, they couldn't see my hellish mind. Just a youngin' who has seen more than he probably supposed to. S straight to skillin', that's how I would go to school. Elementary, rest in peace, they closed down my old school. Now it's nothing but a memory, but memories they mold you. She say do what mama told you, be all that you wanna be. Don't end up like you, him, or me, around abandoned property where families live in poverty. My heart be breaking honestly, still products of the colonies. I didn't go outside, found solace in my hip-hop R&B. She ignited that spark in me that make me wanna achieve my dreams. Get my own Marshall Mathers CD or my own Carter 3. I do this for my family, I'm tired of seeing them suffer. They all in need of some comfort. Papa was a working man, hustle trying to get that dough, overtime till no more time, Riverside, Buffalo. Papa was a working man, hustle trying to get that dough, overtime till no more time, Riverside, Buffalo. My city recession hit, they don't want to see us win, they don't want to see us live, so I gotta do it. I'm just a rust belt, baby, I ain't really had much. There would be some days in schools where I ain't even have lunch. Rarely saw my poppy, he was busy trying to stack up the cash. He told me, man up, the world see you as cancer. They don't give a fuck about us, I wish I had answers, but I don't, so I'ma tell you now to never give up. Chase your dreams, don't be like me, cause I need you to live it up. And they gon' treat you sinister, so move like you invisible, you can surpass the pinnacle. My life is feeling minimal, I'm killing myself at my job, my body soaked in chemicals. And they don't give a fuck about me, barely give me medical. But I'm so fucking proud of you, what you doing incredible. I shed a tear from my pop, 16 hours plus that overtime he working non-stop. I used to see him come home angry. Used to think he hated me, but didn't realize that the factory he worked at was basically slavery. Seeing him suffer is why I'm aiming. Pass the sky through the ozone so my parents can grow old with some money in their pocket and some joy in their hearts because they boy in his art. Made music that people saw in the store and throw in their cart. But I'd be nothing without their support. Came a long way from us wasting days at court. Papa was a working man, hustle trying to get that dough. Overtime to no more time, Riverside, Buffalo. Said Papa was a working man, hustle trying to get that dough. Overtime to no more time, Riverside, Buffalo. My city recession hit, they don't want to see us win. They don't want to see us live, so I gotta do it big. So I gotta do it big. They don't want to see us live, so I gotta do it big.
That was The Miserable Genius, Working Man. I love The Miserable Genius just because of the lyrical wordplay, the storytelling we get from his music. To an extent, somewhat underrated, but he's a sign of someone who maybe not everybody knows, but the hard work pays off. He's had some good looks this year. He mentioned it and he shared it, so we're able to talk about it a little bit more now. So it's cool.
Absolutely. Nah, I'm assuming you're talking about the El Camino track. Yeah, like that's just one of the many notable things that Son has done. My favorite thing about Damiano, as you just alluded to, is storytelling and lyrical ability. Being with Damiano, kicking it with him, making music in person, just smoking, picking his brain. He is simply one of the smartest artist that I've ever spoken to. He's on a mission. He won't stop telling his story. He's creative as all hell. He's a ball of energy. He makes me stay on my toes as an artist in Upstate. You feel me? Listening to his music, I'm like, damn, son, like I gotta be real. I like when my city recession hit, Riverside, like talk about Buffalo, like I was talking to him one time, we're smoking, and he was like, yo, bro, you ever just people from the city be talking like and talking down on Upstate like we're not actually New York? I'm like, yeah, of course. I get that shit all the time. He was like, bro, I got roots to New York City. I went to college in Ithaca and I'm from Buffalo. I'm more New York than all these niggas. And you can hear it in his music, bro. You can hear it. He is a student to the game and he's not going to stop until he gets to wherever he wants. I always be in Damiano's corner. I think he's only like 22, 23 too. Wow. Like you would think that he's a lot older, but he just graduated college, and he's like our age to say the least. So the mind on him is many years ahead of the game.
Facts.
Yeah, he's dope. I like that song. It definitely, when it first came on, I wasn't like totally into it, but it definitely grew on me. Like the hook grew on me. I think he like progressively improved his lyricism throughout the song, I thought, and the story started to really like paint a picture for me as the song progressed.
This was more of a story than anything.
Yeah.
It's not that he was holding back, but he wasn't trying to punch out in this. He had a message to get across.
Facts. I like that. I liked it. That's what I basically said. Is at first I didn't know how I felt basically, and as it progressed, I was like, damn, this is really dope. I guess the only really critique, and it's the critique I have for basically all the music that I hear from him, is the mix.
Yeah.
I hear that. The mix could always be better. It's an older track, and I'm pretty sure he recorded this in his crib. Like when I pulled up Damiano last, we his laptop and the setup that he had, and to me it works for him. You know, he's trying to get that classic sound. I would love to see what he's like in a A1 professional studio with some grade A engineering behind him, but with the sound that he has. I think it almost caters to the nitty grittiness of it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And Sheridan, what do you got lined up for us?
So I got a song from, I think it's Kari Capone, 6 Ways. And I had one of my homies was over last night, and he said he met this kid and he was showing him some of his music. he said some of his unreleased music's like super amazing, and that this song's pretty cool too. So I just wanted to kind of like put him on because I don't think we played him on the podcast before. And I saw that Anthony had actually commented on the video, so I know you've at least listened to it before.
Yeah, I've spoken. I think it's Kari Capone.
Kari Capone.
I don't.
He's a Syracuse artist.
Yeah, I don't think I've met him, but I've known about him, and I've spoken to him a couple times. His son's been grinding for a couple years, to my knowledge, so it's good that he got on your radar.
Yeah, he's someone I've seen in the past, but it's interesting for Sheridan to bring it up, just because he's sort of fallen off my radar. So I'm glad that you brought this up, Sheridan. Let's go ahead and play it.
Apparently, he's got some stuff coming.
Let's get it.
I got like 6 different ways to the cash. I need the coupe with the digital dash. No Michael Jackson, but we know who bad. This shit just all got passed down from my dad. I know they jealous, keep making them mad. Loyalty, something that they never had. Can't come on do this shit all on my own, but somehow I just look better with rags. Empty the trap for the low out of packs. Don't give a fuck cause it's all coming back. I need a Romeo with a relax. I'm either Dolo with Ganga with stacks. They say I do this ahead of my time. R.I.P. Towie was lemon and lime. I just been making my pay out the crime. I just been patiently waiting my time. Yeah, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I'm on the grind. I'm on the grind. Yeah, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I'm on the grind. I'm on the grind. Yeah, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I'm on the grind. Yeah. Talking suspense, so I know it's for real. I'm off the kush, I can't fuck with a pill. Seem like I always duck shots that they send. Seem like when I shoot for the kill. Mom's in the mission, I need me a meal. Son gonna be straight, but you better know the deal. Tables been turning, I'm swerving the wheel. Tables been turning, I'm swerving the wheel. I need to run it up while I'm alive. Shit I don't spin, you could throw in the wheel. I just been making it stack, spinning, making it back, smoking dope. That shit reach out the cell. Look at my highlights, I need me a real. Bitch, I'm not Hank, but I'm king of the hill. I just be spitting that shit, that be facts. I just be making them tracks, they could fail. That nigga fail. That nigga feel. Hold up. I got like 6 different ways to the cash. I need the coupe with the digital dash. No Michael Jackson, but we know who bad. This shit just all got passed down from my dad. I know they jealous, keep making them mad. Loyalty, something that they never had. Can't come on do this shit all on my own, but somehow I just look better with racks. Yeah, I'm on the grind. 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 My vision tinted, I blue like I'm Drake. Witness the shake, but they hide all the fake. I don't got time for a rat or a snake. I got too much, I could lose in that snake. Say you got money, that's not what you make. We just come fuck up the party and skate. I got some hollow tips just for your type. I never got how you niggas could hate. I need a yacht in a brand new estate. If it's about cash and the fucks is debate. I always got on my own, fuck the weight. My shit like milk, bitch, I'm fresh out the crate. He keep on talking, I'm picking his fate. I've been the best out the town at the gate. Get on my way, bitch, before it's too late. My shit 100, but X is the rate. Ayy.
That's Kari Capone. That was pretty dope, and it's interesting that you mentioned that he has some unreleased stuff that's gonna be better, because this is from 2019, I think, so this is a little bit older as it is. I'm curious to see the growth there and just how he improves, because this was a good track, and it's cool to see the improvements coming.
Yeah, my friend said the stuff that he showed him was like a large leap above the stuff that he has posted right now.
Nice.
That's really good to hear. That's really good. He's the song was dope. I commented on the video already. I've heard this a couple times. I love that. I love the consistency of the flow. He didn't miss a beat. Some of the lyrics were pretty sharp. You feel me? Like he had a couple real good bars in there.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the most impressive lyricism, but he got off. You feel me? He was talking his shit, rode the flow. I was bopping the whole time. So shout out Kari Capone. I'm gonna be hitting you up soon, cause trying to see what the new sounds sound like.
Facts.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's dope.
work on something.
Facts. And Ant, what do you got for us this week?
So what I have is a complete vibe switch from what you guys just played. It's more on the R&B side. It's from an artist that I've known for a long time as a friend, but she's been getting her feet wet recently as an artist. She has a couple songs out. One of them is a collab with Meech. She had another collab with an artist that I'm spacing on the name out, but I think this is her first official solo release. She's been in Ithaca for a while. I'm not sure if she's still out here currently, but she goes by Lily. So I just wanted to get this on and see what you guys thought.
Bet, let's get it. Looking forward to it.
Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, yeah. Joyce mixed it. I don't know if my words are coming out right. I just ain't sure. With the way that you're looking at me, I can tell there is a vibe I ain't felt before. Baby, don't waste my time, give it to me straight. Don't play these games, baby, I ain't the one today. No. All this time I've been giving you chance after chance. I ain't here for this shit no more. Let me tell you how I'm feeling, baby. I want you to get all your shit, get the fuck about my face today. Hey. Before I gotta inhale, exhale, baby. Yeah, I gotta inhale, exhale, baby. 'Cause I ain't try to play these games with you no more. No more, I ain't the one. 'Cause I ain't try to play these games with you no more. No more, I ain't the one. No. Inhale, exhale, baby. Yeah, I gotta inhale, exhale, baby. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, yeah. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, yeah.
And that was Inhale by Lily. That was dope, and I'm glad you played that, Ant, because you're right, it is a vibe shift, but I wish, like, I had a better handle on that scene in Upstate, because I know there's quite a few artists that are making really dope R&B type music locally, and it's just very hard for me to find that, and honestly it breaks down to like algorithms and timeline shit. Like, only what shows up on my timeline it's pretty consistently the same stuff because of where I've gotten with Upstate.Aesthetic. So I'm hoping to grow that, and you playing stuff like this does that for me, so that was dope.
I'm glad. So you fuck with that one?
Yeah.
It's dope. What'd you think about it, Sheridan?
That shit was fire, bro. Like, I really, really like that. That's the type of music I'm into. And I thought I wanted to note that I thought Chai's really killed that mix too. I thought I've never heard him mix that genre before, and I really like him mixing that genre, or maybe it's just female vocals, period. I thought he did a really good job with that.
Body did.
Yeah, for sure.
She killed.
Yeah, and I mean, that was what I was gonna say. It probably wasn't too hard because you could tell that her vocals were really on point, and he probably didn't have to do too much to him. She killed that track. I'm definitely gonna download that. So
Facts.
That's
Hopefully
dope.
there's more coming, because you said she just started releasing music, right, Ant?
She I can't say she just started releasing music, but I think this is her first official like solo single.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have to hit her up for a track, honestly.
She's filthy, bro. I could probably send you her information after this.
Yeah, that would be
Download
fire.
that track, Inhale. Like I really love the subtleness of her voice at 1st, and then she shows range when she picks up steam a little bit. You feel me? Just a really dope track all around, and I'm glad that y'all enjoyed that, because the R&B scene out here is just as well and alive as the hip hop scene. You're right, it's hard to keep track of. But with tracks like this, I mean,
it's a shame that I'm missing out with tracks like this, is what that is. So
you probably, I mean, I'm not sure if you're a huge Meech Booker fan, right? Like that's one of your favorite artists out here. So you might have heard the track that he has with her and just not known it was her.
Probably.
He dropped it. Do you know the video where he had like the dead body and he was following the girl? And
maybe, I don't know. I don't think so.
So she was on that track, and she's been killing shit for a while. Like I've been talking about, mate, this is my friend's sister. Like I go back long ago before. It's so good to see her actually grinding and pursuing this, because she's been talented from the jump. And I know that she can make something out of this. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed this.
Facts. And that's a big thing, is it's like a lot of artists I've seen that make this genre of music only make like 1 or 2 songs, because either they're not getting the response that they're expecting, or just something isn't there, and so they don't follow up with it. And that's where I'm almost bummed out about it too, is because I've heard a couple of different, especially female artists out there, where just maybe something happened or whatever, and they didn't follow up on such a great track. So and honestly, that could again be on me, and in terms of what I pay attention to and the way timeline shit works out. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that to our attention. Hopefully we can keep getting some R&B music. If y'all know anybody locally, send that shit in. I would love to hear some local R&B, either male, female, it don't matter, just good music. If you got any good music, make sure you to send it in. We have our competition episode coming up in a couple of weeks, so if you're sending it in for that, make sure you label the email as that competition episode, title of the track, that type of stuff. I will get a format listed when we post the episode. But what do you guys have coming up that they can look forward to?
Friday, Cartel music video. I was gonna debut it today on the podcast, but I said fuck that. I'll play that next week after it drops, where we can go in depth and niggas can roast me if they hate it, if they want. And so Friday at 12 p.m. is gonna premiere. It's already uploaded to YouTube. I just gotta hit it and switch it to public. Very excited for this. Shout out Zakai who filmed it, Jake Daniels who produced it. I got a couple videos in the vault for you guys, and I'm just gonna keep shooting them. This is the start of rollout, essentially. I got some shit that I'm gonna announce soon. I'm gonna feed a couple tracks before project time, but for right now, the focal point is Cartel. So if you're tuning in right now and you would like to be a part of the process, hit me up. I'll send you the trailer. You can post it on your story and tag me. I'm looking for anybody I can to help build some hype to this. I'm just really looking forward to it. I know it's gonna be a little bit controversial. Some people are gonna hate it. Some people are gonna love it. But the most important thing is we get the dialogue sparking, because it's really important at this time. It might be uncomfortable for some. So I'm just looking forward to that. Just stay tuned for Friday. Follow me on all social medias and subscribe to my YouTube at Anthony Cannon TV. Hit the notifications and you'll be notified as soon as the video is up.
Fuck yeah, I'm excited for that.
Facts.
Super excited. And the rollout, dude, I've been waiting for another project. It's been like 2 years since a solo project. More than 2 years.
2 years and like 4 days now. Like
That's crazy.
It's been crazy. A while. And I'm excited, man. It's time to get the rust off.
Yeah, I'm hype. I'm super hype.
That's a fact. And you got the Cartel the trailer on Instagram, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna close the show with the trailer. I should be able to pull up the Instagram. Y'all won't be able to see it, but that's how we'll close.
Perfect. Thank you, brother.
How about you, Sheridan? You dropped a video this week. We just mentioned it earlier in the show.
Yeah, I haven't really done any promo for it. I've just kind of been waiting.
He's been banned. He's been too banned.
So, yeah, I've been banned on Facebook, so I just want to like do it on all social medias at the same time. So I'm gonna start promoting that in the next couple days. But if you want to go check that out, Road Less Traveled is on my Apple Music, the video. I also have More Than 10 coming out, a single on October 9th. That's a Friday. So I'm gonna start roll out on that, do some photos and all that pretty soon.
Once he's unbanned.
So just be ready, because I got more stuff coming for the end of this year. I'm probably gonna save the projects till 2021, but it'll be early 2021, so be ready.
Facts. I got new Upstate.Aesthetic long sleeve T-shirts coming just in time for the fall. They're gonna be super limited, so if you're interested, we posted a preview on my Facebook page today. So if you're interested, reach out to me. I'll make sure to set your size aside, because we, like I said, super limited on sizes. But it's gonna be fun, cool to do first rollout of merchandise. Excited for that. Like I said, we've got the competition episode coming in a couple of weeks. Otherwise, I think we covered everything we need to cover. Bear with me 1 minute. I'm going to get Ant's trailer going to close out the show. And thank you guys for continuing to support us, share, comment, everything. You guys really help the show become what it is. So thanks.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get this trailer going.
Has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white.
Check. All I see is cowards fronting. I'm trying to fill the shoebox with 1,000 hundreds. Hope this selling ounces will amount to something. Drop it in the